Hello everybody, Average Gamer here. Welcome to a quick little video, 5-10 minute video maybe, on a few things about resources. So as you guys know, playing a lot of TerraTech, decided to take a break from the campaign a little bit to do this little tip video for resources. So a lot of people don't know, as you can see in the background there, way back there, a lot of people end up with bases like this. Tons of resources and all this stuff built up, building up resources more and more. And it's really taxing on the computer actually, and you'll end up with frame rate drops and all sorts of drops when it comes to all that stuff. You'll have some performance issues. The game will start lagging and all this stuff. And I wanted to tell people just how in the end I've decided to play the game that'll help my own frame rate and my own methodology behind storage and things like that. So first, I wanted to talk about the types of storage for equipment or for resources. Number one is this little silo here. You can store, I think it's 90. We're going to swing down here real quick. 90 pieces of any resource. 9 stacks, 10 per stack, for a total of 90 resource chunks. Can be stored on this little 3x3 guy right here. Then we also have this little 2x2 guy here. He holds four piles or 4 stylos worth of 10 as well. And then last but not least, we also have the little single guy right here, the little solo node. He does just one solo stack of 10, which, I mean, beginning of the game, right? That's not bad. So you get 10, 40, and 120. Well, here's the thing. You can do that, or you can actually get those blocks and compress them down into groups of, in this case, I believe it is, we're going to actually start with the biggest ones, GeoCore. And it's 120 blocks of units can be combined down into a basically a 2x2x3. So basically an area that's 2 across, and then we'll actually swing it. Well, I can't swing it this way, but you'll see it's actually 2 tall, 2 wide, and 3 tall, which is pretty good. A lot more efficient when you think about the fact that if we swing around this way real quick, this is 3 of these GeoCore blocks here. It's actually, I think it's 1 rubber, or two Fibron, and 1 oleastic, when you think about it. So if you look at the size of this in comparison to this, it's actually would be this much space. And the fact that they're not being animated or anything like that, you're saving a lot on your frame rate. So what you would do in this case, right, you're out, you're mining and all that stuff. You break your resources down and you refine your resources after you get them. Bring them in, refine them, and you end up with big stacks like this. Well, what you do is you click on your fabricator here. The one you want to get, and the reason why I have it set here, is the GeoCore fabricator, because it makes the biggest pieces, right? So the GeoCore is 120. Then we got the Hawkeye, which are the black ones here. They're 64. Next up is GSO, which is the second one for the top. They're 24. And last but not least, Venture, the speedy guys, the fast ones, they're only 8. So it's not much, but it's exponential growth, right? So what you would do in this case, we click this thing and say, well, we want Fibro. The best part about this is in conjunction with, like this guy right here, an SCU, for example. We're going to put the SCU right here. Why aren't you... Oh, because this is actually going the wrong way. There we go. I got some of the experimental speeder bikes here, or speeder modifications. The pacemakers make things a lot faster. I wanted to see actually if 2 on here would do... No, it looks like it's a... Yeah, it's just a set thing. So 1 is all you need. But what would happen, right? You get your resource. You sit there and you're like, okay, no big deal. Let's get it out of here. Let's get that guy out of here. Crates are... Well, we don't have enough. Really, we don't have enough of the resource. Wow, I actually thought I had enough. I'm missing 1. Well, let's just kind of go... Boop. There. 1 more. So now we have enough for 1 of these. Now we can put it on our base somewhere, you know, attach it like so, use it as a, you know, a wall, you know, attach it to anything, or we can just, my favorite one is just let it go. Just let it do its thing. What will happen is you'll see, whoop, it'll go into your SCU, which at that point, now we're in the R&D lab, but you'll be able to go get it and place it however or wherever you want to be scrapped, with the scrapper here, for example, which we're going to show over here in a second. But yeah, so we're going to do another one here. So oleite, we've gone, we've mined it, we found it, refined it if we need to. I don't think you need to refine oleite. And we're just going to set it up, break it down real quick, and basically get a better performance for our computer, really. Once it hits 120, we're laughing, and there we go. And we're actually going to bring this one over there in a second once this one's done. So once again, it creates a block, kind of compresses it down for you a little bit, makes things a lot easier. And we've got, boom, 119, because we're actually short one. No big deal. I'm going to grab, because I actually used that. Whoop. And a bunk. And 120. So now we're going to get this. Normally you would either, you know, leave it somewhere for storage, so like use it as a building part, drop it like your SCU, pick it up so you can use it later. But once you've done that, you can actually bring these guys over to a scrapper and break it down. Now, I've created a little thing here, which I'll show you guys momentarily. So this thing will grab all our oleite. It's not 100% perfect because I've got the pacemaker on there. Things are going a little faster than they should be. So what I've got it doing, if I can zoom it out as best I can here. Let's move over here. I've actually got it looping in on itself. So things will come in and it'll go back in a second time for us. But we're just going to let it do its thing here for a minute. So, why are you're probably asking yourself, why do I have this set up like this? What's the point of all this? This doesn't make sense. AG, you know, I still have to go and click everything. Haha, no you don't. Watch this. So this is what I use. This is my general thing. Once you've gotten things all refined for yourself, you can actually set up a little refinery section here first, and then have it set up so it brings everything here. But what you can order and tell your thing to do, just right click, tell this guy to, from now on, you're always going to create fibro chunks. You are always going to do Luxan. You are always going to do rubber. You have an SCU. There. That's that side done. Come to this side. Same thing. One SCU. Right there. Tell this guy to always make oleistic blocks. Tell this guy here to always make, I think it's the plumbite blocks. And why aren't you... Oh, because you're actually not even positioned properly. There we go. You always make. There you go. You, I always want you to make, I think this is Celestian. Let's just double check. What is this? Oh, Titania. You always make Titania blocks. You always make Rhodius blocks. You up here always make Iridium blocks. Now you will have the odd little issue like I have where I built this stuff and then forgot to actually finish parts of it. Like for example telling this thing to actually accept the blocks. There we go. You, I believe, are Celestian. Yep. Swing around real quick. I believe you're doing rubber block. Oh, you are doing Carbonus. So always Carbonus. Boom. And you're always doing Ignitian. Done. So you'll notice, now this is always going to say, I want a ferrofibrous chunk. I always want a Luxan chunk. I always want. So these things are going to constantly be asking for the resource that they need. You weren't set to repeat, but what are you making? I think it's the Titan. There we go. There we go. So now if you notice, every single person here is demanding a resource. They're all saying, hey, I'm out of my resource. One thing you can do too to make this thing a little bit more efficient is add a second SCU on the second floor. Another GSO SCU, about here-ish. You notice that the SCUs here should be efficient enough to drag those down. So you're probably thinking to yourself, well, that's okay, I guess. I understand. It makes sense. Yes, it does. So what I'll do is I'll show you here real quick. Let's just add that right there for now. Utilizing something smaller. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a GSO. That's the dog. I do apologize. He is going to now scrap stuff as well. Here we go. So I'm going to say I want to scrap one of you, two of you, and I have a random thing of... Oh. So that would help if I actually had connected it properly. There we go. Let's go with two of you. Another one of you. So you'll notice that everything, as it gets scrapped, is going to go right to where it needs to go. Now you'll notice that every now and then some stuff will just completely jump past what it needs to go to. For example, our Luxan here completely just avoided the fact that it needed Luxan, which is no big deal. It happens. I mean, nothing is ever 100% perfect. Now you can have also more than one scrap, but you would have, in this general area here, a refining section where all your stuff's coming in and being refined and then sent out. But there you go. So it would be constantly producing stuff for you, dropping it, and then getting picked up by the SCUs. Once that occurs, you're pretty much laughing at that point. Because then you just know every time you drop a resource or a resource one, collect something or whatever, it will bring it here and refine it for you. So it's a little, I guess you can say convoluted. I mean, I make it a lot smaller. Like make it like 2 levels high or even make it really long. But I think this is the one that kind of cuts down the most amount of space in my eyes. I don't mind going vertical. Like I said, you could probably make this shorter because the odds of any of these being filled at any given time is pretty much 0. But you can always bring this down to say about this height here instead. So you give yourself at least the ability to have a stack of 5 or 6. Especially if you're turning some of this off temporarily, you don't really need to worry about it too much. You can also build a secondary conveyor that comes out of each one, say in between like here and here, to a fabrication area, and have the other one come around as well, and then have it come through. Say this area here, have it come around and loop in a rounded loop, and then have a fabrication area up above if it needs certain things. So yeah, you get lots of additions into this thing, a lot of modifications you can make. Like I said, you can add on a fabrication area to it, not too hard, by using 2 conveyors here, one here, one here, other side as well. But yeah, so there you go. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for seeing this little quick little video about me, about how I kind of work things a little bit. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.